Good morning, everyone. It is December, as you can tell. No mustache. Thank goodness I made it through November. Raised some good money for an excellent organization for men's health. It's called Movember. Um, Raised nearly $200 as an individual to support prostate cancer, testicular cancer, mental health, suicide prevention, all these really important things around our mental health state. Um, so it was a great cause. I'm glad I could support it, but I'm also glad the mustache is gone. Um, it's December. It's cold. It's going to be cold. I wish it was snowing and not raining. Just feels yucky. I like to complain all winter about the cold, um, but if it's going to be cold, it should be snowing though. So lesson 19, we are going to be dividing. Let me minimize my face, get me set up. I don't even know where my guys move stuff on my desk, and when I go to move stuff on my computer, stuff's in the way. I blame Elliot on that one. Um, Maybe Alex. So let me pause this so I can find my pen. Okay, found it. This morning, I had my badge on my neck, put my jacket on, and then spent 3 minutes looking for my badge around my house. So that's the type of morning I'm having. Seems if my head wasn't attached, I'd be losing that too. So back to the lesson. We are dividing today. We're going to be working on not just estimating the quotients, but we're actually going to be shifting into using some long division to divide. But we're going to start kind of simple because we're going to use a multi-digit division, I'm sorry, and we're going to be using multiples of 10. And there should be some remainders in here too. So let's just think about this expression, 70 divided by 30. So remember, our first number is our dividend, and then our second number is our divisor. So when we set this up in long division, remember, I I had a teacher that once showed me, oops, I don't want that question mark, that the dividend goes inside the den. So it goes inside the long division. If that helps you remember it, great. I can't remember if it helped me, but I definitely remember it. So if that helps you, great. But dividend, 30 on the outside. So how do we do this? Well, we could have converted into uniform, but that's not always going to work, right? Because of the idea that if we're just using multiples of 10, so that would work for this. But when we go to having values in the ones place, so not just multiples of 10, we won't be able to use uniform. So let's just keep using this method. And we're trying to think of how many 30s can we take out of 70? So it might help to count by 3 10s, but 30, the next 30 would be 60, and the next 30 would be 90. So how many 30s can we take out of 70? Yeah, that's 2 30s. So where do we put the 2? Well, I think we all remember that the answer, the quotient part, goes up on the top. But which place do we do it? Do we do it in this place, or do we do it in this place? Well, where does the number 70 end? Well, that would be in the orange highlighted spot. So that's where we're doing it. We're saying 30 can go into 70 2 times. If we put the 2, I'm going to change color. And if we put the 2 here, we're saying 30 goes into 7 2 times. So just be careful with your placement of the quotient. So what we're saying now is we're saying 30 times 2 is what? Well, we already did the counting, is 60. So we put that underneath to subtract. 0 minus 0, 6 minus, or 7 minus 6 is 1. So right now, there's remaining 10. So our quotient would equal 2 with a remainder of 10. But that's kind of like a 4th grade way to write it. Really, we got 2 and 10 parts of 30. Because if we had 30 of it, it would be, we have 3 of them. So we can represent our remainder as a fraction as well. So I wanted to see it in both ways. I want to see you do Q equals R equals to show me what the quotient is, remainder is. And then I also want to see the fraction. And actually, I should have put the remainder 10 up here too. So there's going to be 3 ways I want you to represent it. This way is a little extra, but I think that's going to make you a better mathematician moving forward. So let's erase and try this all again. Whoops, I didn't want to erase like that. Let me clear annotations. That way I keep my black background. All right, so that was a simple way with just multiples of 10. Let's bump it up a little bit more. Let's go to 3 digits divided by 2. Still multiples of 10. So 43 tens, or 430, divided by 6 tens, or 60. So we're going to go ahead and put the dividend inside the den and place our divisor on the outside. Now, we have to think. Does 60 go into 4? Can we take 60 out of 4? No. Can we do 60 taken away from 43? No. Remember, we need more than the divisor to make one group of it. So that means we have to look at the whole number, 430. Whew. Well, how are we going to solve for that? Well, we can count by, since it's a multiple of 10 and as 60, so the 6 tens, we could start counting by our 6 tens. So 6 tens, 12 tens, 18 tens, 24 tens, 30 tens, 36 tens, 42 tens, and 48 tens. And I know these were all tens, so I'm going to just place my 0 behind it to show that. So which one of those is closest to 430 without being more than it? And yeah, I saw it when I was counting. It's the 420, which was how many groups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups. Now, where do I put it on the top number? Where do I put the quotient? Do I put it over the 4? Do I put it over the 3? Or do I put it over the 0? If you put it over the 4, you're saying you're dividing the 4. Put it over the 3, you're saying you're dividing 43. If you put it over the 0, you're saying it's 430. So we're going to go ahead and place our 7 there. And go ahead and subtract 420 from that. We're also left with a remainder of 10. And remember, if our remainder is smaller than our divisor, that means we can't divide anymore unless we have more digits to bring down. So we're just going to say 7 with a remainder of 10. I'm going to go quotient equals 7, remainder equals 10. And then I am going to show it as a fraction as well. So 7 is my quotient, 10 was my remainder, and that's 10 over your divisor, because we're always going to be like saying, well, if I had 60 of them, I would have another group. So if I had 50 more parts of this group, I'd have 8. So there's the 3 ways I want to see the answer. In the long division method, showing quotient and remainders, and then showing it as a fraction. All right, nice job. All right, now if this was challenging for you, I understand. This is our first lesson with doing long division, with our division with multi-digit, I almost said multiplication, multi-digit division. So it's okay that this is clunky. Think back to our other lessons, right? They were clunky at first, but then you smoothed it out and you got really good at stuff. So let's just do one more together, and then we'll shift over to the problem set. So 572 divided by 90. So now we're shifting in away from both numbers being multiples of 10. Ooh, that makes me a little excited because I like challenges. All right, good. What's our whole? What's the number we're starting with? Or what's the dividend? Yeah, 572 is our whole. And we're dividing that into 90 groups or we want 90 inside of each group. Okay, so how do we start attacking it? Well, we're working with 90 or 9 tens. Can we take that out of 5? No, 5 is definitely less than 90. Let's go to the next digit. Can we take it out of 57? Well, 57 is still smaller than 90. So no, we can't do that. 572, we must have to take it from that because we can't take it from the first 2 digits. Okay, so now that looks a little scary, but don't get too scared because we can just take 90 and we can think about how many times 90 can come out of 572. Well, let's count, it's 9 tenths, so it makes it a little easier to count by our multiples. So 9, with the highlighter, 27, 36, 45, 54, and 63. And again, these were tens that we were talking about, right? 90. So which one of those is closest to 570 without going over it? Well, that would be 540. Well, how many 90s was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? That was 6 90s. Where on the long division are we going to place that? Well, we were working with 572, so we go to that, all of that number, and we said that was 6 groups of 90 gave us 540 of the 572 to pass out. So we go ahead and subtract that to see what's left over that we couldn't equally group up. Well, it looks like 32. Well, is 32 smaller than 90? Yeah, it absolutely is. So that means we can't divide anymore, and there's no digits to keep bringing down. So that means our remainder is 6 with a remainder of 32. We're also going to, whoops, I want to do Q equals 6, R equals 32, and then let's think about it as a fraction. Well, how many parts are left over of the groups? Well, we have 32 parts as a remainder, and if we had 90, we'd have a full another group, so 32 parts of 90. So that's the lesson. I know that might be challenging, but we're going to keep practicing and we're going to keep working hard until we get there. So we're not there yet, maybe, but we're going to keep working hard. And this week's lessons are just going to keep building on with these skills. So please remember to ask me questions if you're not understanding, because it builds up throughout the week. All right, nice job. There's no Zoom tomorrow on Wednesday, parent-teacher conferences, but please, no scheduled Zoom, I should say, but please, you can always contact me and we can set one up that works for both of our schedules. All right, guys, have a great day. Hopefully the rain stops soon. Mr. Briggs was rushing and he forgot to show you one thing. So let me just quickly show you the check part of division. And I know that this is a review from previous division practices, whether it would be 5th grade or 4th grade. So what we want to do is we want to take our quotient. We're going to take our quotient and we're going to multiply that by our divisor. And then we're going to add our remainder. So I kind of showed you, let me scroll down. So I kind of showed you a little bit of algebra because we got variables, letters as variables. So it's going to be 6 times 90 plus 32. Well, 6 times 90 is 540 plus 32. That would be 572, and that would check. And I love doing the check mark. So I apologize for not showing that originally. I had to come back and start this video again, and now I'm going to have to merge those 2 videos together. So hopefully you watch through, but I'll make a note in the Schoology to let you know, because I already said bye. You might have stopped then. All right. So nice job and good luck. Let me know if you need any help.